All right. Hey guys, how's it going? This is a training here. I'm going to do a book summary on one of my favorite books called Atomic Habits by James Clear. So, first of all, this is about breaking and making habits. A habit is a habitual behavior, something that you do automatically as a response to a stimuli, like a certain time of day, environment, or a physiological trigger like pain or hunger. These habits determine the course of your life and the outcomes that you create by adding up to a final result to how lifelong investing can enable you to retire. In this training, you'll have a quick and detailed overview of how and what you can do to change these habits and as a result, change your life. So, how is our behavior determined? Where does it start? Where's the foundations? Results from habits take time to show. This is why you should focus on your behaviors rather than your goal. If you try to just strive for your goal alone, you may not have it worked out to the daily activities that you need to do. Research has proven that identity-based behavior is how our deepest habits are fueled. This means that if you believe you're the type of person who works hard, you don't have to think about working hard, you just do it. These identity-based habits are predetermined solutions to problems like hunger, anger, anxiety, pain, boredom, or anything else. Here are the actionable items, and I'm going to get into these really briefly. We're going to go from there. So, call out behaviors and decisions that you are making verbally, out loud, as you are doing them or deciding on them. The second one is pick a time, location, and frequency for your desired new habit. Shrink it down to a 30-second start and build momentum just doing the habit and eliminate as many barriers as you can. You're not just going to start going to the gym for an hour and a half a day. Never mind that might be excessive if you're at a high intensity. That's not how you start building a habit effectively. Stack your habits deliberately. Instead of allowing them to build into negative cycles like, oh, when I eat, I feel bad about it. And because I feel bad about it, I'm going to eat more. That's a habit that a lot of people have. That would be something that you want to break and then stack differently. Use your environmental triggers to your advantage. Now I'm going to explain that further. Build temptations and rewards into the habit itself. And then number 6, track your progress over time. It will help motivate you, and you will see these new habits taking less and less energy to sustain. So number 1, calling out behaviors and decisions. When you call out your behavior verbally, it helps to build a serious awareness of what is actually happening. For instance, I might say on a day off that I didn't plan anything. Wow, today is going slow. I'm getting bored. A few minutes later, I think I'll watch some TV. And you scrolling through, it's like, wow, that looks like a really good movie. You start it and you go, dang, I want some popcorn. But you're not hungry. You just had lunch. That would be something that you might not notice if you didn't say it out loud or if you weren't purposefully doing something to become aware of these triggers. This is an example of how you might easily detect an unhealthy eating habit and identify what your environmental and internal triggers are that led up to desiring popcorn in the last example. Number 2, pick a time, location, and frequency for your new habit. When you start a new habit, it may be tempting to procrastinate or to be vague about it and simply set a goal of having a new habit. But goals don't change habits. Purposeful behavior and identity shifts are what changes your habits. To be purposeful in our behavior, we must be very specific. For example, if you want to start walking daily for health benefits, if I wanted to do that, I would need to pick an ideal time, place, and frequency. Otherwise, it's just an arbitrary idea stuck in my head. I could choose, okay, 8 a.m. is a good time. It has the least amount of resistance. I could walk around my neighborhood. It doesn't require me to do anything else but just start doing it. There's no preparation. There's no traffic or anything, at least where I live. And I could do it every day because it's not hard. And then lastly with this, keep them short and frequent. We're trying to build a new behavior, not move mountains. If you're trying to start an exercise program, you don't want to start off and just destroy yourself. It's like that's adding barriers where they don't need to be when you're trying to build a new behavior, especially one that's like really beneficial, even if you don't do a whole lot of it. Next is habit stacking and building in rewards. When you determine when, where, and how you're going to start a new habit, add into the mix something you really enjoy that will put you toward the new habit. For example, if I'm trying to create a new habit like exercising after work, then I should put a reward immediately after that. It should go like this. When I get home from work, I will get ready and go to the gym. And then when I'm done exercising, I will go home and I can watch my favorite show on Netflix because I went to the gym that day. Now, you could have watched the show either way, but now you've tied something you really want to do to the new habit you're trying to create. And just to be clear, your habit shouldn't be this big obstacle that you have to crush in order to do something that you probably are going to do anyways. So make sure you do the thing, the new habit, 5 minutes, go to the gym, 5 minutes, come home, do something you enjoy. As a result, keep that in your mind and just build up the habit before pushing it. Next is environmental triggers. Your environment triggers you all the time without realizing it. It is way more likely that you will grab a fruit and eat it if you have a fruit basket of your favorite fruits on the countertop, maybe on the table too. If the fruit is hidden in the cupboard or in the refrigerator, you are less likely to be reminded that it is there. Use this to your advantage. Hide the triggers that you notice as you verbalize your decisions and actions, like we just talked about. If you are doing something you would not like to do, try and find the environmental triggers that led up to that and eliminate them. Every little thing helps to balance this equation. A good way you can use environmental triggers to try and lose weight or to not eat foods that you have a hard time resisting is use your willpower in a smarter way. Use your willpower in the grocery store, not at home. If you refuse buying the things that you're trying to avoid at the grocery store, then you won't have to avoid them every single day as you look at the donuts on the counter in the kitchen every time you walk in there. Would you rather try to avoid, if you go to the grocery store once a week and every time you get a thing of donuts, in between times you go to the grocery store, you might be trying to resist donuts 150 times per week every time you walk in there. It's like, resist it once. If you really want donuts, okay, get a donut, get one, then you can have your favorite, whatever it is, your favorite thing, and you can offset one donuts. But if you get what I'm going with that, I think you do. If you don't, please ask me. And then, so you got to track your progress. The most motivational feeling you can get is by realizing that for the last month, you've been acting like the person you've wanted to be. You've wanted to be this person for years, and now you're finally doing what you need to do. Even if your new behaviors or bad habits that you gave up haven't resulted in any massive changes yet, like, for example, weight loss, if you've been eating correctly, or someone who quits smoking, they may actually feel worse for the first week or two or longer. And then only after several months does their body start to repair and heal to a noticeable level. Although some people will notice positive changes right away with something like smoking because of how terribly bad it's damaging you. But that's not always the case. So that's why you track your progress, because that is success. When you're behaving how you know you should be behaving, that is success. Every single day that you do it right, you will experience the results. It's just a matter of balancing out the scale. So, hey, thank you for spending your time, your limited time, watching this mini. I really had some typos here. It's a mini book review of Atomic Habits. So I hope it helped you, and have a great day.